Lines of Battle. Lines of Battle comes up, goes in, they're all set. And away they go. Fantastic Moon was slow to begin. Summit County breaks well from the inside. George Vancouver, Juvenile right there as well. Alongside of that, Brown Almighty. Now here's Lines of Battle, and Lines of Battle crosses over to lead them. I'm Bound to Score in the red cap goes up between horses. Now they're lining up, 3 on the lead. No More has no option but to go 4 wide. It was just bumped wider there by Dundonald. He didn't corner too well. No More had to go wide, 7 off the leaders. Dry Summers in there. Along the inside we have Noble 2, now 8 lengths off the leader. Behind that, Balance the Books back third last. Inside of that we have Artigenio, and last of all is Fantastic Moon. Down the backstretch they go now, and Summit County out in front, 3 parts of a length. Juvenile now cutting into that lead, and I'm Bound to Score. They make it 3 in a line as they go into the turn. Racing back in the 4th spot as Brown Almighty has to go 4 wide, but right there George Vancouver's in there. Dundonald only 3 lengths off them. They're all bunching up. Johar's been ridden along. On the far side we have Lines of Battle. Now here's Noble Tune in the orange, 5 lengths off them. No More's been caught wide on the outside, and Artigiano trying to make up ground at the rail. They come for home now, and Brown Almighty in the white face. Brown Almighty, Juvenile running a big one. Juvenile, Brown Almighty, Dundonald in the pink cap on the outside getting a run too. George Vancouver gets through. Noble Tune, and on the extreme outside here comes Balance the Books. Balance the Books late. They come for home though, and it is going to be George Vancouver, George Vancouver, George Vancouver up to win it. It'll be close for second between Noble Tune and a flying Balance the Books.
We thought it would be a scramble, and it turns out to be that way, Siegel. George Vancouver exuding his class over this group of youngsters on the Santa Anita turf.
The MiG beats Siegel, and that's okay with me. George Vancouver, he's a firm ground horse. Great ride, great trip. He did everything you expect him to do. Guess what? This Henry Navigator is going to make it as a stallion. Huh?
Yeah, he might be all right as a stallion, and he did get a great ride and finished strong, and that was the Pursuit of the Cup Exacta.
That's right.
Ryan Moore won this race last year with Rote as Aidan O'Brien, and the lads from Ballydoyle go back-to-back in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Any excuses for the runner-up, Jeff?
Perfect trip. He ran great. What can you say? I mean, this is a terrific colt. And if you go back and look at his race in the Prix Mornay, which was the only real race he ran on firm ground, a 113 Racing Post number. He ran unbelievably well that day, and he actually ran well in the Dewhurst. But firm ground, mile turf, a turning turf, which I think helped him, Richie.
Yes.
And he was able to quicken like a good goal.
Well, and he cornered well, unlike Dundonald. He sat in there and didn't have any trouble controlling himself, and wasn't rank. He looked tremendous and got a fabulous ride.
I thought Noble Tune was better than Balance the Books, the Chad Brown 2 horses, and he was by about a neck.
Yeah.
Okay, there we have it.
We saw Dundonald having trouble going into that first turn, Richie, and then it looked at the top of the stretch that maybe he'd have a little something, but was everything wasted early on in the race?
Well, I think it's hard for a horse to pull that hard, that far, and have enough to quicken with, and he kind of bowled his way out earlier on the turn while Ryan Moore was still sitting chilly in the pocket, and then when he found his gap, and I love what he did, Jeff, he put his horse's shoulder on the horse outside of him, made sure he secured his ground, and then went forward.
Is there anything more satisfying as a jockey to win a race like this, when you know you got all kinds of traffic and you got to make the right move at the right time? It's one thing to win by 10 on a speed horse, but this is fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, this is when you feel like you actually made a difference, and this ride did make a difference.
We isolated on Dundonald. Right here's what I'm talking about, Richie. Looked like maybe he's going to pin his ears back and make a little run at the leaders.
Yeah, and he had gotten out and gotten in the clear by then, but you see the other horse had the luxury of sitting quiet all through the turn, saving ground, found the seam, and then was able to quicken up a little bit better because he didn't use as much